Oh, yes.
Where's Rachel? Where is she? Where'd you... Harvey? Where did you put her? Where did Harvey put Rachel? Hello. Hello. You're watching Nerdish. I lost my shoe. You gotta put your shoe back on. Very good. What are we doing here? Well, we do SAT, ACT prep for everyone. Yes, and the question is not where is Rachel, but when. 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's when Rachel is. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Watch it. Just see what it's like. It's for free. All week long. You can ask us questions like where's Rachel and what you do with Rachel and where is Harvey Dent. They're both studying for the SAT. It's a very important test if you want to go to college or university. Nice. I should have said university first because it rhymes. Oh, that's Catwoman. That's okay. I think we know Catwoman because we're Batmen. Let's do a problem. Yeah. We did exponents last time. What should we do? Let's factor a quadratic. Okay. Man, when it comes to education, I'm an addict. Oh my god, but not that kind of addict. No, just a quadratic addict. I hope this is factorable. Oh, it's gonna be factorable. Add 6. Okay. 6 is for Rachel. Alright. Let's take out a 2. Let's make it equal to 0. That's a good idea. Okay. So let's factor out 2. X squared minus 2. How much time do we have before Rachel explodes? Ask Harvey. Harvey. Multiply to positive 3, add to negative 2. I don't think that's possible. Oh, shoot. That's okay. Sometimes you can't factor quadratics. And sometimes you can't save Rachel. I was about to say that. I'm so sorry. No, it's good. It shows that we're tight bonded, like Tight Bond, original wood glue. It has a tight bond, like me and Levi.
Okay, we are starting. This is the beginning of the stream. We're now into the middle. The middle is going to last for a very long time, and the ending will be, the end of the middle. So I hope you enjoyed the beginning. How's everybody doing? Levi is currently exiting the bathroom.
What?
Do you have your Nerdish shirt on?
No, do you?
Put on your Nerdish shirt.
Can't I have yours?
No.
Why?
You have your own Nerdish shirt. We're different sizes. Why do you always come on without your Nerdish shirt
Because
on?
it's very cold in here.
Well, whose fault is that?
Yes?
I guess. So today, we're going to talk about surface area. We're going to talk about volume. I am back from vacation and I don't need English help anymore. Hey, Ace Chess! Where'd you go for vacation? How was it? Was it fun? Was it not fun? If you don't need English help, what do you need? You need math help? You need reading help? You need science help? Europe and fun. Ugh, I am jealous. Where in Europe did you go? I've been to a couple spots in Europe. Big fan. Big fan. Hope it was fun. All right, Leave.
Yes?
You got your Nerdish shirt on?
Yes?
Good. Ace Chess is back from vacation.
Ace Chess, I heard you were back from vacation. To Europe.
Where'd you hear it?
I heard it in your voice.
Oh, my voice.
On your voice. It was riding upon your voice.
Sure. Do we have any questions?
Yes, yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah, but it's for Robot. So, hey, Robot, say hi when you're here, and then we'll start your questions.
Robot dancer, dancers in robot disguises.
A robot in a poor disguise.
Do you want to do
The robot's
Sauron?
just dancing. Not much of a disguise.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, we got bits.
Trust funds.
I'm hungry. Thank you. Those were some delicious bits.
Yeah.
Thank you, trust funds. Do you know what trust funds is? No, do you? Okay, well, either way, thank you, trust funds. We love the bits.
Frostins.
We're big fans of the bits.
Yeah.
Someone once said that we don't like those bits. I don't know what that person was.
I think it was you, but it was rhetorical and sarcastic simultaneously.
Rhetorical?
Rhetorical. Yeah.
That's good.
All right.
Should I start talking about surface area and volume?
Probably.
Okay. I think we should. All right. We're going to start with volume. I said, we're going to start with volume. Get it? It's like a volume joke. All right. Draw a couple of shapes here. You might like them, you might not. Who knows?
I don't think I said we were doing volume tonight.
What did you say we were doing?
I just said your questions, but you can do volume.
Well, that's my question.
Yeah?
Volume.
All right. Hey, if you don't want to do volume, ask us other stuff. Trust funds, do you have anything to ask?
Yeah, trust funds.
We appreciate the bits.
I don't think that was... Oh, that was trust funds, you're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about ace chess.
Where are you?
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about ace chess.
You gotta stop thinking about ace chess.
I can't stop.
You
it.
have to
Literally
stop.
just
I
says
know, and
can't.
you have to stop. You know why?
Why?
Do you know why?
Why?
No, why can't you stop?
Why?
Stop. Very dumb.
Nope, just love your content. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, trust funds.
We love your content.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Your bits.
Yes.
Big fans of your bits.
Yes.
We've always loved trust funds bits.
Right. I want you to continue with these things.
Yeah, I will. I will. You think I won't? You're wrong.
Right. I'm gonna go over here.
Okay. Here we go. That's it. That's the one. All right. I have drawn three three-dimensional shapes. They're all different kinds of shapes. But there's one thing in common with them. They are all prisms. Not prisms. Ouch.
I get it.
God.
Just do other stuff.
But I wanted that pink marker.
You can't have it.
Fine. These are all prisms. It's all the way in the corner, Levi.
my
This is a
goodness.
disaster. Prisms have a very simple definition. Thanks, Leaf.
Yes.
All right. You take a two-dimensional shape, and then you extend it into three-dimensional space. All right. The cross-section will always be that two-dimensional shape. What am I talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. You take a triangle, just a two-dimensional triangle, and then you take that triangle and you make it like a worm. You drag it into three-dimensional space. So suddenly we've got something that looks like this. That's the direction that you drag it, and suddenly you got a long triangle tunnel. All right. You can see that any place you cut this thing, you're going to get that same triangle. All right. Same thing with this rectangular prism. You're always going to get that same rectangle that you have on that front face, and then same thing on the circular prism, also called a cylinder. A cylinder is a circular prism. All right, you're going to keep getting that circle. Okay? The way to find the volume of prisms is the same. It's the same. There's just a slight difference, but otherwise it's the same, like most things that are different and yet also similar. The volume of a prism, you have to find the area of what's called the base. All right? The base is that shape that is extended in a three-dimensional space. The rectangle, the triangle, the circle. Area of the base, and then you multiply it by the height. The height being the distance that it has been extended. So in this case, this would be the height, this would be the height, and this would be the height. Okay? Now they all have different base faces, so that part of the formula is going to be different. But then the height is what unites all of them. One height to rule them all, one height to find them, one height to bring them all, and then the darkness by.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
All right, so let's start with the volume of a cylinder. Volume of a cylinder is equal to, well, the area of a base of a cylinder is a circle. So that part is going to be pi r squared. That is the area of the base. Then we simply multiply it by the height. Volume of a cylinder, donezo. All right? Volume of a triangular prism, or a triprism, is going to be 1/2 length times width of the triangle, mind you, times the height. That's all it is. And then, of course, V of the rect pris is going to be length times width times height. Why am I using capital letters for L and W? I don't know. I really don't. Okay? That's all it is. That's all it is, okay? Levi, uh-oh, are we still streaming?
Are we not?
It went red for a sec.
Yeah.
We're still good? Okay, we probably just had a little blip in the SIG. Little SIG blip! Okay.
That's horrifying. I hated that.
What's wrong with that?
Everything last 15 seconds.
I don't know. Hey, Trust Funds is still here. Trust Funds! Good. Do you still have questions for us? I mean, do you still not have questions for us?
Trust funds, are you studying for the SAT or ACT, or you're just hanging out?
I imagine he was like a very wealthy old man.
I imagine like a stacked, like multiple stacks of paper. I don't know, like as a trust fund. I don't know what a trust fund. I know what a trust fund is, but there is no physical manifestation of one. I don't think, unless it's like a leather-bound book. So
I think it's
just
a document that you signed. It's
thinking
like
about sheafs of paper.
Hey there, Levi, Brady, and chat. How's it going?
Oh.
Hey,
It's going well.
It's going very well.
I noticed you did not use an Oxford comma, which is not a problem on either test because they don't test it.
Yeah, they're not going to test it, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I'm used to an Oxford comma, so that is a little jarring at first. Because it's like there's two things. There's Levi, but then there's Brady in chat. That's how I read that. However, there's nothing really wrong with that.
Yeah, there are two tutors, comma, Levi and Brady. Rather than there are two tutors, comma, Levi, comma, and Brady, which would mean there are 4 tutors.
Right.
Ow.
Slayer Darth, how are you slaying? I'm just start doing some stuff here. All right. So let's say that we had a cylinder.
You comment in the Discord?
Yeah, because I forgot to tell you to do that.
Right.
Not too bad. That's good. If it was too bad, that'd be a problem. Radius is going to be 6. The height is going to be 10. So the volume, we're first going to have to find the area of the circle. Area of the circle is halfway through the book on linear algebra. I have been studying on the train. More like a PDF. You're on the train right now, watching this? If so, that's pretty cool. Let us know if that's the case. Press 1. Para español, marca 2. Pi r squared. Our radius is 6, so it's going to be 6 squared times the height. No, I am back home. Oh. Around 200 out of 486 pages. Yeah, you're about halfway. You're getting there. You're a couple pages away from halfway. 43 pages away from halfway. We'll get there. That's pretty exciting, though. Linear algebra. Have they gotten to eigenvectors and eigenvalues and eigenspaces? Because those are some of my favorite words. It's an eigenvector. Maybe linear independence and things like that. 36 pi times 10, 360 pi. You're on polynomials now. Nice. Polynomials. Love them. That's the volume of that cylinder. All right. No one has any questions. You can see how this is all going to work. All right. It's pretty straightforward. But let's talk about surface area. That's kind of fun. As you can tell, well, we're going to start with just the rectangular prism and the triangular prism. All right. This base face has an identical partner at the back of it. This triangular face has an identical partner at the back of it. But then they have these rectangles that are connecting them. This rectangle on the top, right? They really can't see what I'm trying to do here. Okay? There are 4 rectangles that are connecting the front face with the back face. Ring Matthews! Levi, it's Ring Matthews! Ring Matthews!
Run quickly!
I thought I'd never see you again.
I thought I killed you.
I thought I killed you, Ring Matthews. And now they tell me you're alive again. Hey there, Ringman. Okay, that's between them. I'm not part of that. Okay,
yeah,
good.
In the middle of that part.
Surface area of a rectangle. Let's give ourselves some dimensions. Was at a choir concert yesterday. Doubtful. Choir concerts don't happen anymore. They outlawed them. during the purges of the early 2010s.
No more singing.
No more choir concerts. No, there's singing. Just no choir concerts.
Got it.
Yes. Pretty boring. It's weird when you consider what you learned back at school, only realize how little they taught you. Ooh. Uh-oh. How little they taught you. Well, you know, you gotta not imagine, but you gotta realize that school has two purposes. Fill you with knowledge, in which case, yeah, they teach you a lot of stuff that's not gonna help you. Number two, socialization. You learn how to be a person. You learn how to solve problems with other people in teams. You learn how to talk to people, okay? So maybe they didn't directly teach you that, but you learn that by being in the school with the other students. You know? Maybe it's just a big smoke and mirrors thing. You don't realize what they're really teaching you. You mean social engineering?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like if you don't interact with people growing up and you're just like, you know, you need social contact in order to become a social human being that is going to be productive in society and going to be able to like maneuver around and, you know, social cohesion, people knowing manners and the way to do things in a way that does not make everyone around them afraid of them or, you know, confused. You got to learn those things. So yeah, you know, we're engineering society at the school level. Say that. Say that. You should say that. You will say that. All right. Let's say we got 8. This will be 3, and this will be 11. Okay. There are 6 faces of that rectangular prism. All right. We got the front face, which is going to be 8 by 3. 8 by 3. All right. The back face is also the same shape. Okay. So that's going to be another 8 by 3. I'm going to put all that together and then multiply everything by 2. You'll see. So like I'm not going to count up 6 faces. I'm going to count up the 3 different kinds of faces and then multiply them all by 2. If that doesn't really make sense to you, then count up all 6 of them separately. That's fine. Okay? So we have a side that's 8 by 3. We have a side that is, let's see, the top rectangle is, that's going to be, this is 8, so this is 3, 8 by 11. So we have one that's 8 by 11. And then we have the side rectangle, which is 3 by 11. So that's 3 by 11. Then we just have identical copies of all of these. All right, so multiply all that by 2, you will have the surface area. 2 by, here we go, 24 plus 88 plus 33. Okay, here we go. So 2 times 20 plus 80 is 100, plus 30, that's 130. Then we're going to add 7 and 8, which is 15, which is going to be 2 times 145, which is going to be 290. 290! I had a science teacher once that would always say, "Who wants candy?" And then some people would get candy and other people wouldn't. Depends on if you wanted candy or not. But that's what I think of when I said 290. If you didn't already figure out the connection there. Yeah, that's the surface area, okay? Triangular prisms, same thing. Find the triangle, you got another triangle. So those are double, but we only have 3 other rectangular faces, okay? And you're going to have to figure out 2 of them will be, well, they might all be different. You might have a triangle that's not equilateral, so that all different side lengths. You're going to have to find the 5 full faces of a triangular prism, all right? But then you get to cylinders. And this is where things get insane. I'm going to have to erase some of this if that's okay.
Hopefully.
Maybe it won't be. If so, God help us. All right, here we go. We're going to get rid of everything that's not the cylinder. Very good. Okay. Who do we have? We got all sorts of people watching. Nice. Very good. Very good. Okay. Gotta let it dry. Let it dry, let it dry when it is wet. When I pursued further studies at a local school a few years ago, I completely ignored what one of my lecturers told us all to do, as his teaching was not consistent with the guidelines set by the examination board. I was one of the only students who passed his classes. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, Slayer Darth. Very interesting premise. Is that the end? Ah, okay, so what you're saying, I understand now, is that your teacher was not teaching properly. There were fundamental, since I just follow what was in the official guideline. Oh. Okay. So that teacher wasn't really doing his or her job that well, huh? His job, yeah. Well, good for you for doing the research there to figure out what you have to do to pass the class. It's very interesting that that teacher, you were one of the only ones to pass the class. That's why I am not too enamored with teachers. All right, well, hold on. There's a fallacy there. So you had one teacher that screwed up, and so you think that all teachers are screw-ups? So I don't think that you're allowed to make that logical jump here for that one reason. I mean, every profession is going to have people that are incompetent. It doesn't mean that everyone in that profession is incompetent.
Cricket.
What are your thoughts on that? Well, I mean, that's the. There's no one actually physically here, which is why.
You're literally the only one here.
Yes.
So.
Surface area of a cylinder. This is true. Ah. But it's why I refer to self-study. Yes, of course, yes. You are what's called an autodidact. Someone who teaches themselves. I like to do that as well. Because there is all the material that you need to learn is, accessible nowadays. It's pretty exciting. And yeah, you can just sort of figure out a lot about it yourself. Figure out a lot about it. You can teach yourself a lot of stuff. For the record, though, you guys are great. Hey, thank you, Slayer Darth. You're great, too. You're great, too. Anyone who watches us is great. That's just so you're part of that. But I think you're a different type of teacher in a way. I mean, look, I'm in a box. I'm coming onto your computer screen, so we're definitely doing it a little differently. Definitely a little different. The surface area of the cylinder. Surface area has three surfaces. Sorry, a cylinder has three surfaces. You got the bottom circle, you got the top circle. All right, so we can start with that. Remember, each circle is pi r squared. You got two of them, so that's 2 pi r squared. But then the middle thing. How do we measure that? What is going on with that? Well, you can unfold. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if I can draw this the right way. I'm going to unfold it. That's too much of an unfolding. Hold on. Basically, take it like a Coke can, wrap a piece of paper around it, you'll realize that it's a rectangle of area. So it's a rectangular surface if you unroll it. So let me first draw ourselves a cylinder, and then I'm going to think about unrolling this. Okay, so right here, yes. Yes. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. All right, and then right here. Ooh. I'm starting to peel back the layers. Let me get rid of this. I'm peeling this around. If I just keep on peeling, I'm going to get a rectangle. I'm going to get a rectangle.
Why not 3, my lord?
Yeah, it might be 3. It might be 3. You're right, Levi. Okay, think about just continuing to unpeel this thing like a piece of paper. So, what is that rectangle going to look like? Well, we know the height of it, which is the height of the thing. Okay, it's the height of the cylinder. The length of it, it has to wrap around the circles completely, which means it has to be the circumference of the circle in its length. All right, going around the circle, circumference, that's 2 pi r. Keep in mind, we have pi r squared times 2. That's 2 of the areas of the circle. That's what that is. 2 pi r, that's what this is right here. 2 pi r. And then we have the height of the cylinder right there. So you're going to add 2 pi r h. And that right there is the surface area of a cylinder. Okay? Now, this is totally unnecessary, but I just like doing this. There's a lot of stuff in common between these things. So I'm going to just factor this thing and see what happens. I'm going to take out a 2, take out a pi, take out an r. What are we left with? We're left with r plus h. All right, that's kind of anticlimactic, but, you know, if you like math, that kind of stuff is fun. Gets you going in the morning. Like a good cup of coffee. Levi,
Yes, sir.
you want to do something now?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
What should I do, sir?
What are you going to do?
I ask you, sir.
What did you say you were going to do?
And Burr, sir.
Pardon me. Wait, did you Discord? Yeah. Very good. Did you? No. Not at all. Have you had your yodels yet?
No, I have moved on.
Really?
Yes, I found something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit cheaper.
What is that?
Individually wrapped 2 packs of Milanos instead.
Oh, that's what
Things
that big
little-
box is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a bit cheaper.
Bit smaller.
Bit smaller.
Calorie-wise?
Not sure. I don't care about the calories so much.
Right.
It's more about I get my little dessert fix and then then I'm done.
Yeah. It's still dry.
No, there was like totally wet water.
You
so I
got
had to.
you gotta let it dry, dude.
Bert, I know we don't condone violence.
Ring Matthews has got the AP statistics exam tomorrow. Uh-oh! You gotta get out of there, man. You gotta get out of town.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Otherwise, they're gonna make you take that test. You don't want to take that test.
Ring Matthews wants to take that test.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Good luck, Ring Matthews. Ring Matthews. Matthews with a ring. There we go. Absolutely.
All right, Bert.
This is the good
This
stuff.
is
right
very
here.
exciting.
Yes.
Yes.
Sultry.
Okay.
Saucy.
So,
So.
what do you guys want to talk about? I'm happy to talk about other stuff, or just make up my own stuff, or I can do some robot dancer questions. Even though Robot's not here, we don't have other stuff. I will give that about 10 seconds, and then I'll start doing robot dancer questions. Unless someone says, wait, and then we'll wait. But only for a short time. Yeah, alright. Cool. Seems like nothing. Let me go back and look at his questions real quick. Cool. Yeah, check them out. If there's one that you know how to do, I can start on that one as one that we won't have. I have no questions. Very good. I think a better state of being would be to always have questions. So this is not a joke. I'm saying, like, continue to look for questions. It doesn't have to be about the SAT or SAT. But you can ask us other questions. You want to know about Bird's personal life. What do we got? But I'm not really taking... Yeah, there you go. Makes sense. How do you feel about this one, Matthew? You want to do this? I haven't even looked at this. Oh. Okay. We have, which expression is equivalent to the above sum? All right. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to rewrite this one. Well, first, recognition-wise, we have equivalent expressions. There are a couple ways to go about these. The first way is to say, ooh, I don't want to take away from anyone who has genuine questions relating to the exams, though. That's valid. The thing is, nobody's asking questions right now, and the person who does have questions isn't even here. They put them in the Discord. So if you want to put something in the Discord or just ask in the chat, go for it. We can just kind of hang out and talk about it. We're just chatting, right? Is that what we're supposedly...
That's the category. Just
Yeah.
chatting.
Yeah, we're just chatting. Just a common denominator, then add. Easy. Oh, yeah. So what is the common denominator, Matthew? Or, what is the... There are a couple steps you have to take. It's not like multiply each, 1 by 3 over 3 and 1 by 2 over 2. Easy, though. Okay, if you think it's easy, we can move on. I won't even do it. Are there other ones of Robot Dancer's questions that you think are a little bit more challenging? You could also plug in on this one. It might be faster. You can't plug in 0 because then you'd be dividing by 0. So 0 is an excluded value. You probably can't have 4. and you can't have negative, sorry, you can't have -4, you can't have 0. So we could plug in 1 for all of the k values and then see what's equivalent to the given expression up there. Now that's eliminating answers. It's not giving you the correct answer necessarily unless 3 of them will get eliminated immediately. But just saying, that's one thing we can do. I'll go on to the next one. I never know where this mouse is, Bird. This one. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. How do you feel about this one, Matthew? So we have another big fraction up there, and then we have which expression is equivalent to the above expression for all m is greater than 1 and n is greater than 1. So that just means that m and n are positive and bigger than 1. So there's not a common denominator thing, and the answer choices look like we need to simplify. Either we need to get rid of, a and b are no longer fractions, and c and d you have to eliminate the 7m squared and then reduce the n as well. Sure, you can do it. No, I'm just saying, how is this one, Ring Matthews? Are you lagging or something? I'm not sure when you said sure you can do it, but I don't think I asked. The question that could answer would have been a while ago, but who knows? Are we lagging? Who knows? I don't know. I think we're okay. In this case, we want to cross things out. We want to cancel things out on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to rewrite this real quick. So 49m squared, nope, m to the 4th, n minus 21, m to the 6th, m6, n2, all over 7m2, 7m2, n4. Okay, so I'm going to factor out the biggest common denominator I can here. That will do the same thing as needing to cancel out something from here and then both of these at once. So I'll rewrite this. What can we take out of 21 and 49? Is 7. Then the biggest thing we can take out for m is m to the 4th. Please let me know if this doesn't make sense. And then we'll take out an n. That leaves us with 7, nothing else there, minus 3m squared n, all over 7m squared n to the 4th. Yeah? Then we can cancel out. I'll do this in another color. 7 is away, 7 is away. M squared is totally gone, this becomes m squared up here. N is totally gone, this becomes n cubed. So we have m on, oh no, sorry. So 4 became 2. Okay, so m squared, 7 minus 3m squared n, all over, gone, gone, n cubed. Let's see if that's an answer choice. It seems to be the bottom one, D. Let me know if that doesn't make sense to anybody. I factored out something so that I could just cancel more easily. If you don't understand why I would need to do that or look at both of these top pieces, I'm happy to explain it. And then D is the right answer. It's just redistributing the m squared at the end. No other questions? Then I will move on to the next robot to answer a question. But please answer your questions since Robot is not here, so I'm just doing them. And then I'm going to link him later to it. Yeah, but put your questions in the Discord or ask them in chat. Whatever you're into. What else we got here? All right, I'm sensing a trend. Oh, wow, this just really fits very nicely. Cool. Okay. So we have another two fractions. This time they're multiplied together, so let's keep that in mind. We don't have to find common denominators for multiplication. Which expression is equivalent to the above product for k is greater than or equal to 33? Okay. Here's what I would recommend here. I wouldn't say plug in. You could feasibly do that, but the numbers are going to get really big, and it's probably going to take a while. You could do it with your calculator depending on the section, or test, I guess. But it would be better to just understand how to do this. So looking at our answer choices, we still have fractions in all of them, so that's good to know. We don't have to fully eliminate our fraction, but we're probably going to do something similar to last time. With this, we could multiply everything together first, but that might make things harder, and I'll explain why. We are going to have to be eliminating things, right? We're eliminating pieces of our given expression to get something simpler here. Although D doesn't look much simpler. Although it seems like A is the right answer, and that's very simple. So we could feasibly multiply the tops and the bottoms together before factoring them, and then we'll just have these giant ugly things and have to factor giant ugly things. If we can factor the pieces, and then we just have factored forms of them, that's awesome, because then we don't have to distribute, we just have factored forms, and factoring is how you're going to be able to cross things out most likely anyway. So I'm going to factor the top. I'm just going to rewrite this product here, in its two. What are the two pieces of a product called? You know, the thing and the thing that you multiply together.
Factors.
Oh, really? Factor, product. I feel like there's another thing, like there's the quotient and the divisor and the.
Yeah, the product of two numbers.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll look it up. The parts of a multiplication problem.
Yeah, terms, whatever. So I'm going to, that 4k squared minus 12k plus 9. I'm going to take that piece first. 4k squared plus 12k minus 9. And I'm going to no, that's not right. That's got to be, where did that go?
They're called the factors, Levi.
They are called the factors?
Yeah.
Nice guess, Bird. That was a wild guess.
What?
Okay, so we have AC equals 36 and our B equals negative 12. So what are the factors of 36 that could somehow add to negative 12? 1 and 36, no good. So 1, 36, not good. 2, 18, still no good. 3 and 12, no. 4 and 9, close. 5, no. 6 and 6. That looks pretty good. 6 and 6 could add to negative 12 if they're both negative. So that's what we'll do. 4k squared minus 6k minus 6k plus 9. Then we'll factor by grouping here. Let me know if you don't know how to factor by grouping. It is not 100% necessary. You could get lucky and not need to know how to do it. Or you could get very unlucky and it would help a ton to know how to do it. So we're pulling out a 2k from the first set, and we get 2k here, minus 3. And then we'll pull out a 3. So let's pull out negative 3. Pull out a negative 3, and we get 2k minus 3. So that we'll factor again. We pull out 2k minus 3. Oh, interesting. We get 2k minus 3 squared, which, you know what, I could have recognized from the very beginning, but I wasn't thinking that way. Okay, so that's our first piece. That would have been quite a doozy to do without, once you put it with the second term there. So this is our first piece here. I'm going to write it down here. So we have, that first one is 2k minus 3 squared. Now let's do that other one. K squared plus 8k minus 33. K squared plus 8k minus 33. Hopefully this is easier. It is. Yes, we have 11. We have 3 and 11. And we'll make the 3 negative. So we'll just get k minus 3, k plus 11. That's easy enough. So we have k minus 3, k plus 11. Now, the bottom pieces, we're going to factor all of those. Please let me know if this doesn't make sense or if you think there is a better way to do it. Honestly, this is taking a while, so maybe it would have been faster to plug in. I'm not sure. I don't like it. I think this is a more generalizable skill. Actually, it's not. Plugging in is a more generalizable skill, but it's a concept that you should know. Whatever. So the 2k squared plus 19k minus 33. So AB for this one is negative 60, it doesn't matter, 66 and 19, and then, sorry, not AB, my bad, AC, and B is 19. So, factors of 66 that end up being 19, I think maybe 6 and 11. No, that's a bummer. Oh, did I do this right? Yes, yes. Interesting. Okay, factors of 66. We have 1 and 66, we have 2 and 33, we have, 3 and 22, there it is. So that is actually not too bad. 3 and 22 will make the 3 negative. So this ends up being 2k minus, 2k squared minus 3k plus 22k minus 33. Pull out a k, we get 2k, we're doing this piece here, 2k minus 3 plus, let's pull out an 11, we get 2k minus 3. Great. Pull out a 2k minus 3. We get k plus 11. So that's the first piece on the bottom. 2k minus 3 and k plus 11. And then the bottom of the other one, we're just going to factor out a k. Okay, I'll just do it. Might as well. K squared minus 3k. Pull out a k, we get k times k minus 3. So that's also good to know. We have, I'll put the k, and I'll do here, times k, just to make it clearer, k minus 3. So now we just cross things out. K minus 3 on the top, k minus 3 on the bottom. K plus 11 on top, k plus 11 on the bottom. 2k minus 3, 2k minus 3. So that gives us the last 2k minus 3 on the top and the k on the bottom. A is the answer. So that was a bunch of work, but it's way better than trying to, you're putting all these pieces together and then factoring anyway. Literally by multiplying, you're putting factors together. So don't multiply and then factor. Just factor the pieces and then just put them next to each other. Don't actually FOIL them back together or distribute them, whatever is necessary. Okay, does anyone have any questions like that? My guess is you would have asked at some point during that if you did, or cared. Who knows which one it was. Okay. The approach to this one. I recommend this way that I did, but you could also feasibly plug in. You need to plug in pretty big k values, so there are ways to mess with your calculator to make that easier. If you don't have a calculator, do not plug in. It will not help you. It will kill you, most likely. Because doing 33 squared is horrifying. I guess you could do 100. Something simple like that. Anyway.
No, man, they're gonna die.
Probably. I think that is the last Robot Dancer question that was posted.
Robot dancer, robot dancer.
Yeah, our bit rate's decent.
Okay.
It's its normal thing.
I went red for a second a little while ago. I got scared.
Yeah, that is pretty scary.
Thank you. I'm just upload a question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Ring Matthews.
Thanks, Ring Matthews. Ooh, so much fun. Yeah, why not? I didn't do anything. Uh-huh. 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 Okay. Awesome. So we have, what do we got? I always forget the 3-point slope form things and just draw it out. LOL. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what the 3 point slope things are, but we'll find out. Point slope, that's that one. Okay. Which of the following is an equation of the line in the xy plane that has a slope 2 and passes through the point 0, 3? Okay, there are a couple ways to do this. And our answers are all in, I don't actually know what that last one, oh, because my mouse was on it, that makes sense. Okay. So these are not all in slope intercept form, but that's fine. Oh, I see what you're saying. Then there's standard form, which is just, ax plus by equals c. It's like the same setup as standard, well, actually it's not, but ax plus by equals c. But that's very seldom used. So for this one, there are a couple different ways to do this. I think people are not as comfortable with point slope form, and it doesn't matter for this test. You don't need to know point slope form for the SAT or ACT. You just don't. So I'm not going to do it. Unless you actively want me to do point slope form, I'm going to do it the more basic way that takes an extra step, but it's the same concept. So we're trying to get whatever y equals mx plus b is. Now, so far we know that the slope is 2. So that means we have y equals 2x plus b. We also know that it passes through the point 0, 3. Oh, wow. Okay, so then that's it. All right. Well, 0, 3, that's the y-intercept, right? B is the y-intercept. That's what B means. So then you're done. It's y equals 2x plus 3. And that's the answer. How do you feel about that? Did you think that was less straightforward than it was? Did you forget about the y-intercept is what b is, or were you trying to do it as point slope form, which actually ends up being much harder in this case? Not much harder, but it is harder. There's more work involved. What say you? Any other? No. Okay. I just found the latest test and found the question types that are a bit hard for me. Got it. Okay. So what do you mean by the latest test? Like the SAT that happened a couple weeks ago, or the ACT that happened a couple weeks ago? Like usually when the point is 8/16, I try to draw it out. Oh, okay. Right. Don't worry about point slope form if that's giving you trouble. Let's say that we're not doing this problem anymore, okay? So this problem is pretty straightforward because they just give you the y-intercept. But I'm just going to turn this off. Okay. So y equals mx plus b. And sure, let's say our slope is 2. I'm happy to allow that. 2 is the slope. Now, for the other point, let's take 8/16. So if our other point is 8/16, that means that the equation of the line has to pass through the point 8/16, which by definition of what equations are to represent, infinite values that end up being a line, it has to satisfy this, right? So that means this is x, of course, and this is y, of course. So that means you need to be able to say 16, or I'll write it here. 16 equals 2 times 8 plus b. This is not the perfect example, but that's fine. So now so this will help us solve b. What is the value of b what must be the value of b so that 8/16 is a point in this equation? Plug in that point, you'll figure out what b has to be. So now we have 16 equals 16 plus b, so clearly b equals 0. So your ultimate equation here is, we got this one, and we got the slope being 2, so now we have y equals 2x plus 0. or y equals 2x. So I only used slope-intercept form here. Point-slope form is not necessary. But it's a similar thing. It just takes rearranging. You're not finding b and then rewriting the equation technically. I'll do that real quick in yellow. In this case, we know that the slope is 2. So in point-slope form, we have y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. But if they give you 2 coordinates, you would use point-slope form, right? Again, it doesn't matter. You can. That would solve for m. And then, yeah, you could take out the others. Yeah, again, it doesn't quite matter. If they give you 2 points, then you can find the slope. You have to find the slope regardless, and then you can use this or you can use the other one. So you know what? Let's do that. Give me 2 points, Ring Matthews. Ideally, not something crazy, just because there's no need to make it crazy. But just give me 2 points, and then we'll do it both ways. We'll use point-slope form to figure it out, and we'll use slope-intercept form. Luma squared, when you have a sec, do you have any advice on time management? I find I understand most problems, but it takes too long for me to solve them. Are you talking about math specifically? Also, we have a lot of time, so Luma, you can definitely ask as many questions as you want. We don't only do math. We don't only do problems. We also talk about time management and stuff like that. So any questions you have, just ask. Both. Okay, so that sounds like you're doing the SAT, not the ACT. 412, -26. Great. Okay. Hey, Brady, never mind. I'll answer this. Time management. So let's start with the math, since that's sort of what we're doing right now. The easy questions first. I would say it depends on, the way you're working and trying to go a little bit faster in prep for the test. Just keep hammering the concepts, keep getting more and more familiar with the question types. Try to figure out the question types that give you the most trouble. Are you taking too long on both math sections, or is it just the calculator, just the no calculator? I would say one of the time management things, which doesn't make you go faster, but it gives you a better percentage chances. If you're going to run out of time, you should start with the open-ended, the open response questions first, because if you're going to run out of time, you're going to be guessing at the end, right? Because you should answer the questions. And if you're guessing on multiple choice, you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right. If you're guessing on those open response ones, you have not an infinite chance, but you have almost no chance of getting it right. So you should do those first, because the section gets harder, 1 through 15. Is it 15?
1 through 15 and then 5 through 20. Or
Yeah.
16 through 20.
So 1 through 15, that gets harder, and then it gets easy again at 16 and gets harder to 20. And then the calculator is the same way. It gets harder through the multiple choice, then it starts over and gets harder through the rest of the stuff. So do the open-ended first. That's one thing. I would say in your prep, to get faster at these questions, don't just do the test over and over and just do random questions. You want to be prepping by figuring out question types that are hard and hammering that question type until you're good at it. That doesn't mean you don't have to pay as much attention anymore. You still do. And then find out where the time is being wasted. Is it being wasted in not understanding what to do? Or is it being wasted in just, you're slow moving through, which are two slightly different things. If you have trouble recognizing what needs to happen, then the recognition is an issue, and we can talk about that. If that's not the issue, it's just math is slow for you, then very possibly math is just slow for you, and that is what it is. But to move more quickly through specific questions, there are, for many of them, there are different ways to solve them, and we can talk about the faster ways to solve a given problem. Ask as many follow-up questions to what I just said as you want, or ask me to repeat whatever I said. Not all of it, because I don't remember. Okay, so we have 4, 12, and we have -2, 6. Let's say the question is find the equation of the line. Great. So find the equation of the line that passes through the following 2 points. Well, first we need to know the slope. So let's find the slope. Slope equals change in y over change in x, right? Delta y
over delta x. So that'll be 12 minus 6 over 4 minus negative 2. So slope is going to be 6 over 6. Okay, so the slope is 1. That's good to know. So I'm going to do this with y equals mx plus b. So we know y equals 1x plus b. So let's take one of these points. It doesn't matter which one. Plug it in. Let's do this one because it doesn't have... No, these numbers are smaller. So 6 equals 1 times negative 2 plus b. So this is 6 equals negative 2 plus b. So b equals 8. Knowing that b equals 8 gives us our equation because we have slope, and we have y-intercept. So now we have y equals x plus 8. That's our final answer there. Now, let's do it the other way. We found slope, it's still got to be the same thing. You've got to find slope. Then we have slope-intercept form, which is x minus x. Why did I do that? Let's do this in blue. X minus x1 equals the slope times y minus y1. No, that's not true. I'm sorry. Clearly, I don't do this very often because I don't think it's as important as knowing slope-intercept form for the tests because you can get everything done without slope-intercept form. But it's good to know. So this will be y over here. So y minus y1, x minus x1. So we know the slope. The slope is 1. And we're going to take one of the points. It doesn't matter which. Let's take this one for argument's sake. So we have y minus 12 equals 1 times x minus 4. So this is y minus 12 equals, that just goes away, x minus 4. Let's add 12 to both sides. We get y equals x plus 8. Okay? So either way works. It doesn't matter. We had to find the slope for either one of them. And then I used the slope in point slope form. The slight difference is, in point slope form, I don't have to jump around equations. I just put it into point slope form, and then I do that. Minus 6. I have a child.
There you go. Yeah, that works too. With the other point. Yes. You have a child?
I have a child.
I didn't know you had a child today. I thought that was yesterday. Was that unusual?
Yes, yesterday was unusual. Usually it's
Okay.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Are you?
I mean, are you prepared to like do the rest of the stream by yourself?
I haven't ever done that before.
That's what I'm worried about.
Right, yeah. You seem worried. How about you stay here and I will tutor your child?
Absolutely not.
What are you tutoring?
Math.
What math?
He's in like sophomore. I know him so well.
No, I know him better. Because I know you, and there are things about yourself that you miss.
Oh, like how well I know him?
Yes.
So you know those parts
Yes.
of me.
Okay. Any questions on this? Bird, you got to get out of here.
Absolutely.
You have 5 minutes. You're fine. Yes? Any follow-up stuff on this stuff? Luma, do you have anything else to add? Oh, I only talked about math, time management. If you ask me some specific stuff about the reading or the writing sections, then cool. Unless I've misinterpreted what you said and maybe you're taking the ACT, but I'm pretty sure you're doing SAT based on how you phrased one of the questions. Or one of the answers to my questions. I'm going to erase this. Can you go over special right triangles? Oh, yes, I can. Great. Sure. So like how you remember them. Yeah, absolutely. Well, are you taking the SAT, Ray Matthews? Was that just going along with what you said, or I probably know, or you've definitely said what test you're taking? I took it May 4th. Right. Okay. So you are aware that they give you the ratios of special right triangles at the beginning of each of the math sections, right? So you don't have to memorize them? I'm happy to talk about them and talk about, understanding the underlying. You didn't know that. Ah, yes. So that first page that you probably stopped paying attention to after taking a section 2 or 3 times, or maybe even the very first time. Yeah, it's right there. So there you go. You don't have to memorize it. Maybe that would have helped you on the May 4th test. That would be a bummer. Do you still want to talk about it, or you want to kind of put it out of your head now? It's a bummer, dude. Don't like that box. Luma, any other questions on your end? Or have you left? Have you departed? What was the bad marker here? The yellow was kind of going bad. Put it in this way. Okay. Would you like to talk about special right triangles? Would you like to talk about... I'm taking SAT. Okay, yeah, figured. Are we... Luma, did you just hear my question? It seems like some people are responding after a long period of time. I don't know if that's on the streaming end of things, or that's just because you're taking some time. You want to go over special right triangles. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do the slightly easier one first. Same. Go. Okay, cool. That's fine. Just making sure. Okay. So let's talk about this ratio here. We can do this with numbers, but I'm going to do it with x's. So if this is length x here, then this being an isosceles triangle, or a 45, 45, 90 triangle, that means the same thing. Sorry, right angle. So x and x. What is this right here? Well, by Pythagorean Theorem, this will be x squared plus x squared equals our hypotenuse squared, right? So this is 2x squared equals c squared. If we're trying to figure out, sorry, that's squared there. If we're trying to figure out what c is, what is the length of that side, you take the square root of both sides. The square root of 2x squared, the x will be able to come out, and we just get x rad 2. Unit circle, basically. Yeah, you could do that. Special right triangles is the sine theta. Oh no, well, yes, special right triangles. These two triangles help you do all the reference angles on the unit circle. Not all of them, but most of them. So, do you want to go over the unit circle, or do you want to go over how these things come about? Oh, that is fine. No unit circle. Okay, based on the lack of comma between no and unit, which I think is what you meant to do, that means you don't want to do unit circle. If you had said no, unit circle, I hate it, then you'd be asking for unit circle. Okay, actually I haven't proved this in a while. Let's see. Okay, so this is 60, this is 30, and that right angle is 90, of course. So this is side length x. How is this proved? This is pretty straightforward. I mean, I can go backwards, but I mean, I could say sine of 30. No, that's not a good way to prove this. We know that sine of 30 is 1/2. So then, if this is 1/2, then the, and sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Yeah, I don't know why I'm having such a brain fart here. I actually don't remember how to prove the ratios. What am I missing? Yeah, so you have 30, 60, 90, and this side is x. How do I figure out the rad 3x and the 2x? I don't actually remember. What's wrong with me? Can you tell me? I could look it up, but what's... Wow. Can't believe I'm missing this. I'm gonna look it up real quick on my telephone. I don't know what's wrong with me. I apologize. You know what? I should look this up. If you guys want to talk about it, we should talk about it, and I should just bite the bullet and figure this out right now. My bad. This is horrifying. 30, no, 60, 90 ratio proof, maybe. Does this one make sense at least to you guys? This is just Pythagorean theorem. You know they're the same, so you just do Pythagorean theorem and solve for this side. Okay. We're going to add in another triangle here. First one makes sense to you. We're adding in another triangle that just mirrors it. So this is a right angle. This is 60 degrees. This is 30 degrees. By doing that, we now have an equilateral triangle, right? 60 up here, 60, 60. So if this is x, then this whole side is 2x, right? Because there are two of them, which means that this side is, of course, 2x because it's an equilateral triangle. So that side is 2x. So now we have x and 2x, and now we can use Pythagorean theorem. So that would be x, and we'll call this b. So x squared plus b squared equals 2x squared. So x squared plus b squared equals 4x squared. So let's subtract x squared from both sides. Yeah, kind of cool. If 30 degrees times 2 equals 60 degrees, does that mean that a times 2 is b? No. No, it does not. No. So if an angle is twice as big as another angle, it does not mean that the corresponding opposite sides have the same ratio. Angle to side ratio, there is no such thing as an angle, angle to angle and then side to side proportion. That's not that. So here we have b squared equals 3x squared. Take the square root of both sides, and we get b equals, the 3 doesn't come out, but the x squared does, so we get x rad 3. There you go. Do you have any questions? You see, so that's good. That's where this stuff comes from. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to memorize it if you're on the SAT because they give it to you at the beginning of the sections. Do not forget that, because then maybe you would have to prove it. And then from here you can do unit circle stuff. So, Matthew, you don't like the unit circle, it seems. Why don't you like the unit circle? What is your problem with the unit circle? Did you have there's a reason. There's got to be a reason. Did you do poorly, you just not get it the first day, and then it kind of everybody else pulled away from you, and you just decided to hate it? You're a bad teacher? What's the deal? You can talk to me. You had no problem with it. You said you hated it. Or was that Luma? It was definitely you. So you're just complaining. Okay, that's fine. Complaining's fine. Oh, you have no problem. It's not a problem for you. You just don't like it. I understand. Okay, yeah. I don't know why that was so hard for me to understand. Graphing polars. Honestly, I haven't thought about polars in a while because I haven't had a Math 2 student in a while. Polars are stupid, but Khan Academy does a pretty good job. Just don't think of it as x and y that sort of are equatable. It's more, you have r, you have theta, and they're just different things. It's sort of like the it's a random coordinate plane that does show you something, some things, but it's not that useful for you in your understanding in high school, which is fine. It is actually a useful thing to be able to graph on the polar coordinate plane, but it's sort of like the what is it called? The imaginary plane. So with A and B, when you're graphing a complex number. Sorry, the complex plane. That's what I meant. It's sort of like that. Do you guys know the complex plane? I actually haven't. I don't think the complex plane is asked about on the SAT. It's definitely on the ACT, but I don't think the SAT is asked about it. Vaguely. Okay. Doesn't matter. Anything else on the SAT or ACT specifically? Whoa. R equals 3. I had a problem on a test recently which was finding the length of a shadow based on the height of a lamppost, a person, and the distance between them. Okay. So was it, the lamppost thing? That looks kind of like a wine glass. It's a wine glass. And then a person. And then you have the length of shadow and the length of shadow. And then you want to know how tall each one is? Is that sort of the idea? Or you know the distance between the person and the lamppost? I don't understand. Necessity. Something like that. Okay. This would be a ratio, or sorry, a proportion. So you have the sun, and it's far enough away that you're going to hit at the same angle. So the lamppost is like that, and you're like that. Sent a question on Discord. Awesome. I'll do that as soon as I sort of explain this. If this helps you, Luma, great. Maybe it isn't quite what you're talking about. But because you have hitting at the same angle, that means that these two triangles are right triangles, and they are similar because the angle of depression because of the sun gives you, those two angles are congruent, so therefore you have similar triangles. So knowing that, and you want to know, is it how tall a person is or how tall finding the length of a shadow based on height of a lamppost, a person, and the distance between them. Yeah, so if you know this is 20 and you know this is 10 feet tall and you know this guy is 13, no, that isn't, what? This guy is 6 feet tall, then you set up a proportion 10 over 20 equals 6 over this is your shadow length, something like that, and you solve for x. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about because you said the distance between them, and I don't quite know what that is. But let me know if that clears it up or not. Okay. What? Links or something. Okay. I'm just going to pull it up. Oh, wow, that worked very well. Great. What do we got? Thanks, totally. Okay, great. All right, so we have an equation. It looks like the equation of a circle because that's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals 25, or r squared. If you don't know the equation of a circle, that is not given at the beginning of the math sections of the SAT, or ACT, I guess, for that matter. So you do need to memorize the equation of a circle. And I can talk about that too if you'd like. Okay, the graph in the xy plane of the equation above is a circle. Okay, great. If the circle is translated downward a units such that the circle is tangent to the x-axis, the equation becomes... Okay, so let's talk about that. This was on Calc AB? Really? You got it. All right, cool. All right, so... is a negative 2. Yeah, so it's the center is 3 units below the x-axis, and we don't care about the x direction at all. But then the radius is 5, so now you're 2 above. So yes, a needs to be negative 2, so you go 2. Yes, so it is negative 2. Wait, I'm so sorry. No, it's not negative 2. It's Ring Matthews was right. So The equation of a circle is minus h minus k, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. So k, the center of this circle is going to be at 6. I'll just draw it. Couldn't hurt. So you have negative 6, 6, 3. So that's here-ish. And then you have the circle, which is 5 units away. So you'd be reaching down here at first, which is not quite what we want. So we need to go up 2 more units. Because if we go up 2 more units, then we'll be tangent. So A should be 2. Okay, is 2. Wait. Wow, A is negative 2. I'm so sorry. A is negative 2 because then you have y minus 5 and k is 5. I did a terrible job with that. Do you understand, regardless of me making that harder to understand for you, if you paid attention to what I was saying? Because you want this to go up 2, so you need y minus 5. So to get from y minus 3 plus a, yeah. Great. My bad, that was terrible. All right. Are there more questions? Also, Luma, do you know how to use the Discord? It doesn't seem like you have questions, that's fine, but the answer is 8? Oh, what's the question? Wait, what have I done? Oh, okay. All right. Or 2 units up. Yes, there are 2 answers. Does it say that A is positive or anything like that, or needs to be, or no? No, this is, yeah, so it could go either way. As long as the center of the circle is 5 units away from the x-axis. Yeah. So, oh, yes, it does say downward. It does say downward in the question, so you have to go down. Oy. That was awful. I'm so sorry. Everything about what I did there was bad. Let's just move on and forget it. Jeez. Please put another question in the Discord or in the chat so I can redeem myself, because that was horrific. How to Discord. Ring Matthews, can you just write exclamation point Discord in the chat and just press enter, and it should give you a link to the Discord. And then just follow that. Do you know what Discord is at all, or you just don't know ours? Sent another question. There you go. Yeah, just follow that. If you don't have a Discord account, you have to make one. I think it just requires an email. If that. I'm sure it requires an email. I don't remember. Okay, another question. All right. This looks a little complicated. That's fine. Okay. All right. Y equals x plus 1/2 and z equals 2x minus 3. Which of the following is equivalent to y plus yz? Okay. All the answer choices are in terms of x, right? So that means we just need to get rid of y and z. And they're asking us for y plus yz. This is very unusual, and it's not like other stuff. It's not like all the other questions. So we know what y is. Y is x plus 1/2. We know what z is. It's 2x minus 3. Both of those are in terms of x. So what is y plus yz? Well, y is x plus 1/2. So that's your y plus y times z. So let's do plus, let's put this in parentheses for good measure, x plus 1/2 times z, which is 2x minus 3. I assume you didn't do that because this should be relatively straightforward. If you got to this point, then it's probably just a pretty simple arithmetic mistake. But I'm guessing that you just didn't make this logical leap of just, you have y and you have z, so just plug them into that given equation. Any question? Yeah. What's the oof for? It does look awful, and it's really not at all. The answers are pretty straightforward. I can do it real quick. So this is x plus 1/2 plus, let's FOIL this, we get 2x squared. Outside is minus 3x. Inside is plus x. Outside is minus 3/2. So 2x squared. All of them have that. Great. Minus 3x plus x plus x. So minus 3x minus 2x minus x. So minus x. Does that give us our answer? It gets rid of d. And then we have 1/2 and negative 3/2, which means minus 1. And that is our answer, A. So really not a bad problem, but just very unusual in the way it's asked. It seems like it's going, because you see a bunch of variables and you start thinking, okay, is this a 3-level system of equations or something like that? And it's not. It's just, here's what y is, here's what x is, sorry, here's y, here's z, give us y plus y times z, and you just do that. You've been quiet, Ring Matthews. Why have you been quiet? Do we have more Discord questions? No. So Luma, if you would like to ask your own, put them in the channel that's called questions for stream on the left. That's where I'll be answering questions. Oh, there's more. Okay, great. I don't know why my phone's not telling me this. Oh, this kind of does look awful. You're right. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna I'll leave them up for now. So some fractions are the answers. Okay, so for gym class, Shayla completed a 4-mile walking and running exercise. Ooh, rate problems. I like rate problems. They're actually fun once you get the hang of them. She ran for 70 miles and she walked for that many in terms of t miles, where t is the total amount of time in hours Shayla spent running. Okay. That's weird. Okay. The equation 7t plus 3 times whatever, all that garbage models this situation. What is the value of t in the equation that models this situation? Oh, that's so stupid. What? Okay, so we have an equation for t. Maybe I'm misinterpreting this. So they just, what is the value of t in the equation that models this situation? And then they tell you, they just give you an equation. It's 7t plus 3 times 13 over 15 minus t equals 4. Okay. Yeah, it's just solving for t. Yeah. I don't know why they put so much garbage in it, but that's kind of it. So 7t plus 13 over 5 minus 3t equals 4. So 4t, and then we're going to subtract the 13 fifths. It's 20 fifths, so 7 fifths. 4t equals 7 over 5. So t equals 7 over 20. Is that the right answer? I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand why, but why they wrote all the other garbage. To throw you off? The SAT wouldn't do something that egregious. That's dumb. Definitely dumb. Yeah, there you go. Luma, nice username on Discord. Where's my darn mouse? There we go. Okay, do either of you have any other questions? Got a little more than 5 minutes left, so I can do whatever. Luma, if you have other questions about just... that was an actual SAT problem? What? From what? That's horrifying. Was it like the first of a couple problems with this information? Or was it just kind of on it? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Or was it just on its own? Oh. Weird. All right, that's awful. I don't know what to tell you. All the ones I've been sending. Yeah, okay. Good to know. April 9th. January, February, March, April 9th. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't know. I mean, it looks bad. Like the way the SAT is now doing the QAS questions, so that you can't have them in one document is so stupid. We stream 8 to 9:30 Eastern. I don't know where you are. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings. So be here tomorrow, same time. Thursday, same time. Wait, what day is? Sorry, no. We'll be here tomorrow, same time, and then next week again. Bring your friends, bring your family, whatever. We also tutor privately. Oh, also, I do have to do this. Sorry, just bear with me. This is our private tutoring company, our logo. And then the next thing that's going to pop up, that blue thing, is Alta Ipsum. It is a grade tracking executive functioning app that lets you put in when your classes are. It's a schedule planner type of thing. You can also tell, but it does more stuff than that. So you can tell it when you have a test or a quiz or a paper coming up that's due, and it'll set up a study schedule or a planning schedule, and then you can manipulate it from there. It tracks your grades, all that stuff, which is pretty awesome. And you get a free month. So it's down below in the comments or in the whatever on Twitch if you want to check that out. It's free for a month. You might try it. Outsource your stress to that. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna be here. We're here a lot, Luma. We haven't decided what we're doing over the summer yet because fewer people are prepping. So maybe we'll take a little time off. Not sure. But it's sort of up to you guys. Like whatever you want us to do, we'll try to oblige. We're not going to do more streaming over the summer, but yeah. Do you have any last questions for stream? You can remember you can ask questions about timing. We can go also Luma. Just so you know, as I'm pulling up these questions, I can do the same. Like I can just pull up a test, and we can just go through it. So if you have a link to a test, ideally probably not one that's illegal to share. This is just one of the 8 practice ones. I forget which number. But we can do this and then go through like an actual test and do stuff. And so if you want to talk about specific question types, we can look at that instead of just conceptual things in math or how to use commas. Also, Luma, do you know the 4 uses? Do both of you know the 4 uses of commas on the test? Like the 4 main ones? Although I've heard that they're using quotes now for dealing with quotes and commas around those, and that is something that you do need to account for. So I might start teaching that. You don't? So we're going to talk about that. Are you going to be here tomorrow? Because we can talk about the 4 uses of commas. I can make that what I talk about tomorrow as like the main thing that I go in talking about. Yeah, so possibly. So if you want, just whenever you show, then I won't plan for it, but show up if you can. Oh, you have comp sci. Okay. Then maybe do that instead. We'll be here again. It seems like you're not okay. So the punctuation on the grammar section or the writing section of the SAT is straightforward. Yeah, you guys can talk about that. Yes, that's one. There are 4 big ones, and then commas around quotes is another off thing now that I guess I need to start talking about, because it's making a comeback on the tests, or at least on the SAT. Between dependent and independent, when dependent comes first. Yep. So we got IC, comma, fanboys, IC, and then we have DC, comma, IC. And then around non-essential phrases. Yeah, last one that I talk about at least. Is this from watching our stream and list? Good. Is this from watching our stream, or you knew those things already? Or you got them from, did you have another source for them? Oxford comma is not tested on the test, on either test. So you don't have to worry about it. It might be there in some passage, it might not. It doesn't matter, they won't check. Adjectives. Adjectives would be a list. You can have a list of nouns, of phrases, of adjectives, things like that. So that's still a list. Yeah, but you got the 4. And then it's commas like she said, comma, hi, Ring Matthews or something in quotes. You would put a comma there. You don't want to put commas before quotes if it's just part of the sentence, like I like werewolves. I don't know. I don't know why you'd say that, but I like werewolves, and you put werewolves in quotes, you wouldn't put a comma before that. The good, read, and well-read dog barked. The good, read, and well-read dog barked. Cool. Yeah, that works. Ooh, do you know what garden path sentences are? This is not important and it's not on the test, but does this sentence make sense to you? Okay. How do you feel about that sentence? Does it make any sense? But it does make sense. It does. That's your verb. Does that help or does that hurt? That's correct. This sentence does make sense. That is your verb. How do you feel about that? You hate it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there you go. Still don't like it. There are others. There's some that I don't like, but this one, there you go. Yes, exactly. They man the boat, so man the oars, man the whatever, operate, put yourself over there. Jonathan, while Bob had had, so he failed his test. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Thoughts on this one? Make sense or no? The complex houses married soldiers and their families. Oh, cool. I like it. So there, I guess Jonathan and Bob are taking a grammar test. No, that is not the case. What's your verb? Ooh, let's make it. Oh wait, I messed that up a little. Nah, so the verb houses. You don't seem that excited. I think these are very fun. I don't need to be, I shouldn't be doing this right now, but the complex, like a housing complex, right? So that complex over there. The complex houses these people. And who are these people? Married and single soldiers. Married and single soldiers and their families. That's what's going on there. Your interpretation makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. They are fun. There was one that I made up recently. These I didn't make up. I think this one is my favorite because it's just simple, short, sweet, flirty, fun. You know. Which one was it? No, I can't do this. Tyler, Mishka, what's up? They are fun. If you guys can come up with other ones, go for it. I have looked at the Wikipedia page, so probably can't sneak those by me. But it's fun to make them up if you're just picking things that should be nouns. Or are nouns, but also can be verbs. Man is just way more commonly used as a noun. Houses, same thing. I don't know if this really makes sense anyway, but the fuel tanks my share prices. Tanks would be the verb. This isn't very good because I don't know what it, like I don't get it anyway. Like something to do with the fuel industry, like the fuel, maybe we're referencing some big oil spill. The fuel tanks my share prices. Yeah, it's tanking its price. Yeah, I just, yeah. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sure you know this, but that's the wrong it in the way you used it. The horse raced past the barn fell. Yeah, I think this is, I don't like, these are the ones I don't like because that's taking out the word that, which sometimes you can take out, but it still doesn't make any, that makes no sense. You can't, it's not even implied. The horse that raced past the barn fell. That's much better, Luma. Perfect. That one, I'm not a fan of that one. The horse, because the horse raced past the barn. I don't think you can feasibly say that's even 50-50 because it's just not there. I'm not a fan of the taking out the that ones. But maybe I'm just missing, like, I don't have that intuition there that I can feel that implication in my bones. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go, but we'll be back tomorrow. Luma, if you can make it, great, and just check in, say, let's talk about comma usage, things like that. We can go through a test and look at them. I really like doing that. I really like doing comma questions. They're harder. They're the hardest punctuation on the test. If you're not comfortable with semicolons and colons, we can do that too. Those are much easier because there are fewer uses. Commas have a lot of uses and they get messy, especially with non-essentials. Okay, I will leave you alone. Have a good night, everybody. Possibly see you tomorrow.